All right, good.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good on my end.
All right. Okay. We can get started.
Khan. All right. Shalom. Shabbat shalom to whoever that pertains to. We're with Akim out here in El Paso, Texas. We're out here with Akim out here in El Paso, Texas. Out here just continuing to push the word, including within this quick prophetic forum update of these recent events of secular history filtered to biblical prophecy. That we're just going to go ahead and go into as a watchman of Yash Allah and the hopeful elect men of Yash Allah. So before we get started with these news headlines, all right, as always, just want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to our power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. All right, which means our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten and anointed Son, Yahushai, and Holy Spirit, and was our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. I also want to say in the ancient Hebrew, Mashiach Kabadim Lahasakwani, Shaz Gadabarbakah, which means double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and true shepherds of Israel, along with the like-minded Sequani Wa'akim across the four corners of the earth, also pushing the sound doctrine in faith, truth, and sincerity. Okay, Shalom, honor, salutations to Bayaf, Shaddai without the house of David, representing 144,000 elected governing body of the house of David. All right, and we're just gonna get started, man. Before we bring out the precepts, just go ahead and cover a few recent news headlines, revolving around this global economic collapse and the further introduction to the market of beasts, which is a microchip. All right, and this last world's war, but then these rumors of wars continue to escalate and further intensify because those are the last two major prophecies in that direct order. Okay, so so speaking of economic collapse, just wanted to go ahead and begin mentioning, or start off by mentioning that the Cash App. Matter of fact, I'm just going to bring out the article here, which I got it pulled up here. All right, in regards to this Cash App founder, okay, on behalf of MobileCoin, Bob Lee found stabbed to death in the Bay Area, which is very ironic because the Bay Area is full of wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying? And it speaks for itself, man. The sodomy, of course, obviously, the drug usage. When I remember when I was out there, Esau was allowing people to shoot up in front of the cops because that further, exposed the hypocrisy and corruption of America. You see what I'm saying? That's why this place is circling the drain on the side note, because these other nations have been made drunk off the wine of America, Babylon the Great for so long, which is a Western philosophy, this place that has deterred their sovereign vision, how they look to operate throughout their sovereign, countries and whatnot. Okay, so now as a result of that, these nations starting to deter that much more away from the dollar, including Japan, being considered a defensive military, but yet, despite their allegiance with America, they're buying oil from America's top adversary, Russia. Okay. Then you got Saudi Arabia just came out. Saudi Arabia's bin Salman, Crown Prince bin Salman, basically came out and mentioned earlier that, Saudi Arabia is basically deterring any allegiance or any dependence on the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency at this point. Okay, and they're looking to replace their reliance on this U.S. dollar. In regards to the exporting sales of the oil through the yuan, the petro yuan on behalf of China, and that's why China and Saudi Arabia just struck a $12.2 billion deal for Saudi Arabia to build an oil refinery in China, man. If that wasn't bad enough, you got other nations looking to join BRICS. Case in point. So it's not a coincidence, having all this been said, that this guy, this Cash App founder, Bob Lee, was found stabbed to death, because we understand Esau has a ploy behind this global economic collapse to further justify his Hegelian dialectic, or the Abkeo, to further present the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? You got it up.
Yeah, this is the book of Isaiah 14:10. It says, "All they shall speak and say unto thee, thou also become as weak as we, thou become like unto us." And you seeing these nations now, I mean, this would have been unheard of 10 years ago. How dare you go against the mighty, great Babylon America, with its military force all across this earth, labeling nations as terrorists right now. These nations are laughing at them because, the hypocrisy of this place right now is being unveiled across the earth. I think it was Azana Man who brought out a video today, a very, very good little short video he brought out, which shows these speakers are speaking about the hypocrisy of Great Babylon America. And that this place, known across the earth as, a mass killer, mass murderer. And the rest of these nations, they would just stand up on the side in great fear because, everybody thought that they had to depend on the petrodollar. There was no options. You had a big military force, and America was buying all the goods across this earth, okay, with something that's not even backed by anything. And now they're starting to realize, well, wait a minute, Russia's standing up against America. You've got China boldly flying into the sovereign territory of the United States, and these nations have figured out, okay, that they can do without this place.
That's right.
Which they always could. But this, of course, is the Lord Yahweh Shemi Ashai working, his spirit across this earth, and with us bringing out the prophecies every day about the downfall of Great Babylon America. I'd like to bring up another one here. This is the book of Proverbs 29:2, and it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And all we've known in our entire life, I know for me, is just mourning. Why? Because you have the wicked in rulership. This man has had a stranglehold, a grip on this earth. What, since he came out of the cave? Okay. And now those moans are turning into anger and hate. Okay, and rebellion, not only internally here in Great Babylon America, but externally all across this earth, where these nations saying, hey, enough is enough, man. You're full of crap, Esau. All right, go ahead on.
That's right. And this is why, and I'm going to bring out this precept in Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, Jeremiah 51:6 says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul and every man of Israel. Because the nation of Israel, or a nation in general, stems from the seed of a man. Seed meaning sperm in the Greek term or Latin term sperma. So being a nation stems from mankind. This is a reference to mankind, as in what, in this particular context, in mankind of Israel, like it says in Joel, the 2nd chapter. Joel 2:31, I believe it is, which speaks about the men of Israel. Also in Acts, the 2nd chapter, for example. So that just means that this is speaking about the men of Israel, because his word is inclusive to the nation of Israel, because salvation is only for Israel. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, this is Jeremiah 51:6, and it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. He will render into her recompense. Now, her talking about the whore, okay, Babylon the Great, or America, the great whorish land of confusion, man. Okay, it's just like a whore, okay, that does more, intaking than otherwise, okay, laying on her back, if you will. That's America, proverbially getting in bed in terms of the diplomatic and global deals with these other nations, and the international trade and whatnot, okay, and then having the audacity to set a standard of how people should be living through the petrodollar, man. That's like an oxymoron, man. That's backwards thinking. But this is a devil for you, because he wants to have his cake and eat it too. But now it's backfired, because these other nations don't need the petrodollar, and they, like the brother said earlier, they never needed the petrodollar. They were just conditioned to believe that they did. So being that we are in the midst, we are in the precipice of the downfall of the devil, okay? Because he's losing global leverage, all in all, man. Economically, geopolitically, militarily, he has dykes and faggots and women in his military. And that's a part of this wine, and that leads up to the next verse, Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand. All right, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right, you look this word up, mad, in the Hebrew base goes into a frenzy. All right, they're spazzing out on this whore. Like they, just like men that have all been burned by the same whore that spaz out. They want to put her to death, because she's a source of the issue, just like into America, Babylon the Great. Her Western philosophy, which is her biblical, the biblical wine fornication prophesied, has been, has further proven to be her downfall, man. Case in point, down in Uganda, they're against this rainbow agenda down here, man. rainbow coalition, if you will, this LGBTQ elemental P bullshit, where down in Uganda, they basically are threatening to put people to death, okay, for indulging in faggotry and the lesbianism and shit, man. Okay, just like in Russia. And I bring this out every now and then we get on this topic. I remember when that Power Ranger movie remake came out in 2016, they made the yellow Power Ranger a dyke or a lesbian, and Russia was like, no, we don't support that. That's why they didn't allow the movie to be played over there in Russia. Okay, they were pushing for the movie not to be played over there in Russia. So these other nations, there's way more nations that we won't even mention, in terms of these nations escaping the mines and whatnot that are against this agenda, man. Okay, they mean what? They are overall against this Western hegemony. Okay, and this is why they're starting to further contribute to the economic downfall of America, because they're tired of her whine. And that's why in Isaiah 19 it prophesies how the spirit of bondage is failing her. Okay, and that bondage is predicated off of what? Darkness. Okay, compound sin, iniquity, like it says in Isaiah 25:7. How it speaks about the wicked covering cast over the entire earth, and that's what? America, whose sins have reached the heavens. Preceding Revelation, the 17th chapter from the top, where it prophesies how the same horror was to sit upon the nations. You know what I'm saying? Like how does it go? Matter of fact, let me just get it real quick, okay? Because these are the times in which we're living in, okay?
Yep.
We know the downfall. We're finally starting to really see this devil fall, man. This is Revelation 17:1, and there came out of the seven angels, Salakia, and there came out one of the seven angels which had the seven vials on, talk with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Waters mean symbolic of governments, and another synonym for that is mountains. You know what I'm saying? And like it says in Jeremiah 50th chapter, how is the hammer of the entire earth being cut asunder through her wine of fornication, America. Now you're not the hot hoe on the block anymore. Okay, no one really desiring you like that anymore. So now you want to reach into your devious bags of tricks to compensate as to why you're no longer really desirable like that. But there's nothing you can do except for to hide under your underground bunkers on behalf of you upper echelon Edomites, you Amalekites, kikes, you bankers, for you Central International Crime Banking families from the wrath of Hamas, Sheikh Hawashai, and Al-Ahayim, and the 144,000. That's all you can do, and that's not, and really, that's a part of the snares that you would have fall within, like it says in Psalm the 9th and 10th chapters, because Yahweh by Shem and Shai has put that in your mind frame to have you trapped on the ground. So it's a terrible thing to fall within the hands of Yahweh by Shem and Shai, because only future free devils after the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, okay, is 1,000 years of hardcore, egregious servitude to Yash Allah before you get rounded up and burned, like it's prophesied in the book of Obadiah, because you're destroying the earth, man. Okay, that's right. Destroying the water, you're contaminating the water. Okay, like down there in Ohio, most recently. Okay, you're indulging in experimentation of these devices where you're manipulating weather patterns and causing all kinds of tsunamis and whatnot. Like down there in Missouri, there was a tornado that resulted in like 5 fatalities recently. Okay, these wildfires down in the West Coast and the North Pacific and so forth. Okay, you're behind the turmoil and global mayhem of this world. Because you were the common denominator, and all these nations are starting to really become privy to you being the common denominator, man. That's why they don't want to deal with you no more, man. They'd rather deal with the BRICS, and that's why a lot of them are trying to looking to join BRICS. Okay, so I believe that was it on that. Let me finish this one off in verse 2. Revelation 17:2 says, "With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication." Okay, jump down to verse 5. "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth." And that it's just really that transparent, man. Who else is this talking about? It's not the Vatican, China. No, it's talking about the whore, America, Babylon the Great, that push that satanic theme, "Do as thou wilt," by that damn Satanist warlock Aleister Crowley. Then they masqueraded it within the theme of America, liberty and justice for all. See that? This is clearly talking about America. What you got, Doc?
Yeah, this is the book of Jeremiah 51:25. It says, "Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, will destroy all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. And right there, you see that great threat that the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, says he's got against this place. You see the murder right now really disappearing here in Great Babylon, America, because even these, the low-level Edomites, and I always call them low-level Edomites, the ones who are not, the part of that, those elites who are going to be hiding in the caves from us, they starting to see now that their Edomite government does not give a crap for them. It doesn't matter if Trump comes in, back in, doesn't matter if Biden is in, because you have a divided, wicked queendom. Okay? So even when Trump comes back and Joe Sixpack, yeah, they might get out there and grab their guns and they want to get stupid. But at the same time, too, you've got the Sodomite rulers right now. Okay, the Democrats who parade up Sodomite lifestyle around. You got all these Sodomites. They're not going to give up their wickedness. You think they're going to give up what they have right now? Okay, and see these nations out there, as you was talking about, when they speaking against this Sodomite agenda, okay, and they were agreeing with it initially because again they thought they had to rely completely on the American petrodollar. I'm going to bring this example up. I don't know if you remember like dancehall music back in the 1990s. You had an artist called Buju Banton.
Con.
And yeah, Buju Banton and a couple of these other dancehall reggae artists. And they used to always sing about, Killer Sound Boy or Pop Pow to a Bati Boy, And I remember in the 80s, in the early 90s, everything was about against Bati Boy because that was, hey, down in the Caribbean, we don't play that down there, we don't play that. And it's straight up, hey, you're a Bati Boy, we're gonna stomp you down. And so they figured that out as a start, as when Shabba Ranks came in. Now they couldn't understand what he was saying because he talked about it a lot, so he kind of got away with it. But as it started to become mainstream with people like I can't remember the guy who sang Bombastic or whatever, Sean Paul and those Shaggy, they started to understand the lyrics a little bit. They would ask him, what does that mean? And they understood it. So guess what they did? They forced them to not sing about Bati Boys anymore, okay, and ban them out of coming into countries and doing concerts. So this is what this man has done. These nations are now, you realizing that this ruins culture, it ruins their way of life, it ruins everything, the family structure, everything. Sodomy does that. It's an abomination. And so now they're going against that. And that is the biggest thing that's causing that division here in Great Babylon, America, is that these doggone Edomites are forced to swallow that pill of, yeah, well, if they can do what they want to do, love is love. No, it's not. It's a sickness. Okay? But see, there's going to get to a point, they're not going to be agreeing with it. They're going to have to, because why? There's not going to be anything left in this society. The threat that the Yahweh Shemashai says is going to bring on this place, burn this place down, destroy its government, okay? Reveal the true wickedness of this place and intention of these doggone people, okay? And that's, we can always go into 2nd Ezra 15, which goes into, how this is going to turn out. And we are seeing that's brewing right now. And we always like to tell you 2/3. You're like that frog in a pot. You take a frog and you throw it in the boiling water, it's going to jump out immediately, scald, it feels it. But you take a frog and you put it inside a pot and you put it on the fire, that frog will just sit right there, get real comfortable, adjust to it because it's amphibian, okay? And then you'll see it just turn over. Now, I've never boiled a frog like that, but of course, that's been the experiment that, science teacher always would tell us. And that's you 2/3 Jakes. You don't see it. You're comfortable being treated like crap. You're comfortable being slave. You're comfortable with your little tight-ass, meager lifestyle or living that you're making here, as long as a so-called white man just throw you a bone. But we got news for you. This place is going to get burned down. And we're actually a main target here in Great Babylon, America, for the frustration of these people when it all goes down. Go ahead, Art.
And that's why, these devils are conspiring to, to make us an offender of a word.